And hello there folks, it's me RJB from RJBTV, and today we're gonna look at 458 against Loveme. And unlike what we usually get to see, it's 458 playing on Terran and Zerg today. This is gonna be a loads of fun to see whether 458 can actually play the other races as well. Because we've only seen him on protoss for a very long time in a lot of games. It's always been protoss with this guy. And I mean, I don't mind. His protoss is highly entertaining. Highly entertaining. It's one of the best protosses to observe, spectate, and cast, because he does a lot of things that are very interesting. But now we've got his opponent here, Loveme, who is, I believe, the streamer Nietzsche. I'll put his channel link in the description below if you want to check out Nietzsche's play from his own perspective, from his own POV. You'll be able to find that in the in the description, not the comments, in the description. You'll be able to find it there. He's here on the blue protoss. He's right next to 458 here on the magenta pink Terran, right below him. This is a close proximity match, which means both players get to show off some of that early aggression. Although I do think Loveme is going to go for Nexus first, which means 458 is going to have the first punch, the first ability to punch, the opportunity to dictate the pace of the game right from the start. Also, I have something wrong there on the top. That's from the previous video, so excuse me if this video spoiled that. Let me just fix that. I forgot to fix it before I started. So let me just change that real quick. Loveme versus 458. The score is 0-0 at the moment. Okay, so that's all fixed there at the top. We got the correct score scroller there on the top now. Let's get into this match for real. 458, I think he knows what to do as Terran. He plays against Terran a whole lot. He's studied a lot of replays, and he's kind of figured out what Terrans do at every point in the game. So why shouldn't he be able to do it himself? Most of the times when you have a Protoss player as on the level as high as 458, they can play all the other races as well. That's kind of just a general rule. If you can play one race at a high level, you can play all races at a relatively high level. Maybe not at the same level as your best race, but overall, you're pretty damn good. And he finds Loveme pretty early. Loveme pulls 2 probes to defend this choke, because he needs that cannon alive, and the probes here in the front are going to make sure it stays alive. 458 recognizes he can't kill the cannon, so he's going to try to walk right in. Loses one Marine, another Marine there's barely alive. Probe there barely survives. One probe, one Marine, both went down. Now 3 probes being pulled to kill that one Marine very quick. It stays alive for a little while too long, but there it is, arrives on... Well, it arrives on his deathbed. It died. The Marine died, and I don't think it really saw too much information. It didn't get too close, but it got pretty close to the mineral line, where Loveme went for Nexus, Forge, Gateway, Choke, Double Gas, Cybercore. Cybercore almost finished up. 458, I forgot to hotkey his base, is going for Command Center Academy and Double Gas in the back. So not a triple command center, it's going to go for double command center, which is a little bit safer in my opinion, but it does delay the economic spike that you're going to experience at about 6 to 10 minutes, where you just economically explode into the sky all the way to the moon. Man, people from Wall Street bets on Reddit are going to love triple command center build orders. But not this game. This game, we're going to go for a slightly smaller economy, but with more army, a little bit safer than the alternative. Triple cannon in the front, Citadel of Adun on the way in the back, and robotics on the way in the front, right here on the side. Gateway there in front of a pylon in front. That's an interesting choice. Not sure why the pylon exists there in the front, but it's there. Medics are on the way, and so is Stim. Got about 12 Marines are in the front. Engineering bay there are now being built, and a factory is being built as well there by 458. He's getting a support bay before the Templar's Archive, so this is likely going to be just a regular Reaver shuttle frontal attack. Because all the structures I see do indicate that he's going to go for a nice amount of zealots, for 2 Reavers inside a shuttle and attack the front. Shuttle speed, they're on the way. He did not yet build more gateways though, so I might be wrong. And here we can see that Loveme made the right choice in building 4 cannons in the front, because 458 is feeling aggressive. He wants a piece of this cake, and he's coming for it. He's sending up his units in the front, and Loveme is blocking off the front. Medics are going in, but he turns around right away as he sees the zealots, the gateway there on the side, and the 4 cannons there to protect. He immediately recognized, nope, this is a bad choice if I go for it. So he turns around and makes sure that he does not destroy himself by killing all of his own marines into those cannons and zealots. Returns back home, putting his units into position to intercept the shuttles. He's getting 2 more barracks, not going for a starport defense, he's going to go for the marine defense. And I think the marine defense is a little bit safer when you're this close to your enemy. Because when you're across the map, on the other side of the map, your raids can fly all over the place and hunt down shuttles. But when you're right next to each other, those shuttles kind of just enter really easily. Kind of like this. Really easily. The marines there, though, stim those zealots to death. And the Reavers do get picked up. And he's gonna... Oh, that's 1 Reaver, actually, not 2, just 1. He's gonna break the front, but a tank arrives in the front, so that's gonna siege up and scare the Reaver away. Once it has siege mode, which it does not yet have. So he cancels the supply depot after the SCV dies, gonna try to kill the turret. Siege mode almost finished up. There it is, siege mode finished up. Reaver crawls away, prevents any damage. Loveme is playing with really good multitasking. I kinda like what he's doing. I kinda like it so far. He's playing smart. And fast. He's got great macro. 458 also doing pretty cool stuff so far. It's very standard, but all the timings that he has at the moment, they are all correct and as they should be. That scarab just went all over the place. That made no sense. That scarab made no sense. He comes in there over the front. Marines are pushing forward. They're triple Reaver. Gonna try to micro the Reavers, but he's getting a great surround. The micro is great from 458, but he loses almost all the Marines. And 1 Reaver stayed alive there inside the shuttle. Cannot unload it though. The turret there in the front takes it down. And 458 successfully defends that very first attempt at taking his life. Or to just weaken him up for another attempt at his life. Loveme didn't achieve a lot, and 458 defended that one well. He did forget to make a couple of SCVs during the exchange, but he's on a good path. He's on a good path forward. The things are looking okay for 458. His Terran so far is looking good. 4 Robo from Loveme, and he's getting more technology in the back, and plus Archive, getting additional gas, getting a couple cannons to protect his probes against tank drops, because tank drops against protoss are probably the best thing you can do as a Terran. Just kill all the probes, and you are much more likely to win the game. Much more likely. So getting vision over these hills there, on this hill right in between. The shuttles are now not yet visible from across the hill with the engineering bay, but you can see the cannons. You can put tanks right here and kill that choke. 458 now on 45 SCVs, 97 supply in total against 120 there from Loveme. And he's adding on more gateways, a lot of gateways to be exact. That's 8 gateways there in total, 4 being added on, getting more cannons, getting Dragoon, getting air armor and level 1 attack. I assume he already has Dragoon range, or he might not. It kind of depends on whether he wants to use Dragoons early or kind of as a last resort. There's no point in getting Dragoon range if you're not going to build Dragoons. Scarab damage is on the way as well, getting pylons on the middle and on the bottom side. Get control over the map. Shuttles are going all the way around. You have some Marines on the pathways from the north, from the west, and from the southwest, but not entirely from the south. And Loveme unloads right next to the supply depots. There's a lot of Reavers there on the scene. Will the Marines die? Will the supply depots? He's targeting the supply depots and killed 1. Killing a couple more. There's 4 supply depots down. 5. And all of them are... Wow, look at these Reavers just destroying everything that even comes close. Those Reavers have like 30 kills, way too many kills. They've killed like 2,000 minerals of real estate. And the units, that was an insanely good drop. 458 lost almost the entire army, now dropped from the top. Templar and a Reaver and a Zealot unload, the rest all died inside the shuttles. Trying to kill as many turrets as he can. Great shot there on the Marines. Ew, even greater shot. All the Marines go down. This is turning into a really well-played Reaver strategy from Loveme. These Reavers have done more than I've ever seen Reavers do before. These Reavers are killing literally everything. So kills 3 turrets and about 20 or so Marines in total there with that drop. Like, both of those 2 drops should not have killed that many Marines, supply depots and turrets. They should not. That is a very rare exception of a drop. But it did so much that those 2 drops alone might have done so much damage to his army and his supply depots that 458 might lose the game because he's so focused on rebuilding that he simply does not have enough to defend. Big drop there coming down from Loveme. Big storms on those SCVs. Kills about 15. Zealot's now running back and forth, hunting down whatever they can. He's out for blood. But the Marines there coming from the top, stim the Zealots down, and do clear the vicinity, but now drop from the top side. Loveme is playing fast. 400 APM. Dropping units everywhere. Top, bottom, left and back side. Everything is under attack. Nothing is safe. This is one of the benefits you have playing right next to the Terran as a protoss. You can shuttle units into the base non-stop, and once you start killing units, you can just keep on dropping and dropping non-stop, and that's what he's doing. He's pulling his shuttles back to his main base so that he doesn't have to keep making new shuttles, but he is making new shuttles. He could realistically make a round of Reavers, but he doesn't have the gas for a round of Reavers. Might need a couple more cannons in the back, but a tank drop definitely not coming. He doesn't have a starport yet. He has factories, Marines, no starport. He's got upgrades on the way with double armory. He's rebuilding a lot of supply depots on the bottom side. Another drop there coming over the bottom side, and another one going to be coming from the top. It's going to be a double drop. Can 458, the master of the double drop, defend the thing he has mastered himself? From the top, 5 shuttles trying to snipe them down. On the bottom, 3 shuttles with a Corsair coming in hot. No Marines in between, stimming down. SCVs running to safety. Double storm. Triple storm. 4 storms. Kills 20 SCVs. 30 SCVs left alive. Got more Templars on the scene ready to storm. He didn't use all the storms. He still has 1 ready to be used. He's waiting, but he's too far away. He's waiting, but he's too far away. So he's not using that storm, but he did enough. He did a lot of damage. Tons of damage. 458 is crying out in pain. And he's finally, for once, on the receiving end of all that high-level protoss abuse. It's so difficult. Now he's getting a taste of his own recipe. He's getting a taste of his own recipe, and I don't think he likes it. Not a drop there, coming in. Course is escorting, gonna drop on top of those Marines. Templars on the scene. There's 2 Templars, 1 Templar too far away to storm. SV's running to safety, kills a lot of Marines and tanks. He's just going and kills the units. But Loveme is playing a brilliant game. I am impressed. I've seen him play Terran in 1 vs 1 before, and it looked good, but not this good. This looks really, really good. It looks really good. He's got a lot of probes, I must admit. He has 90 probes, but he's spending all that money with only 14 gateways, which is very impressive. Getting all the upgrades, getting all the technology upgrades as well. He's playing out of his mind. Where is his next drop gonna go? And when will 458 recover economically? He's on 49 SCVs, he's only on double gas. He's got tanks spread about. Well, pretty much everywhere in his base. Comes out over the bottom side. Got 6 shuttles there on the scene, coming in hot. Going for the SCVs. SCVs running to the top side. Templars on the scene. Templars too far away to storm any SCVs. Templars, SCVs are turning around, but they might just have made a big mistake as all the SCVs go down to the storm. As he turned around right into the storms. He should have just kept running to the top side, but he felt he had to run to another base, and as a result he loses all the SCVs on the minerals, loses a lot of units as well. Things did not go as planned. Things did not go as planned. You can say that. Another drop there already coming in. Loveme is playing at lightning speed, hitting back and front side, everything at once. He is never ever gonna give 458 the time to recover, not with this high amount of pressure. The front there is getting torn apart. The upgrades on those Dragoons and Zealots are 1-1-2. They're pretty good. The tanks are on 1-1-1, and the Marines in the back there are on 0-1. He lifted up all of his engineering base, so we're not going to be seeing 0-2 or 0-3. Yeah, the front is dead and gone. 27 SCVs. Got about, I'd say he's got about 9 tanks in his base, but those tanks might not stay alive for much longer, because here comes another drop, number 10, number 11, who knows? There have been so many drops, I lost count. Goodbye turrets, goodbye tanks in the top. Just going to kill real estate, because killing anything at this point, it hurts 458 pretty damn badly. Losing anything at this point will result in a loss. And considering he does not have enough to defend, he is going to lose for sure. There's no doubt in my mind, or in yours, or in anyone's mind, that 458 can make a comeback here, because this is a frontal attack. And while he might be able to survive this frontal attack, because there are a couple of tanks and Goliaths here ready to protect. We have a drop being prepared as well. Where is the drop? There's 2 shells there in the front. 1 shell there back at home, flies in over the top side, gonna unload on top of the tanks, I assume. Oh, there's a lot more shells there coming from the left, the right side. They're all empty. He's running to the front. Here's the real drop. He's trying to trick him, and it's working. Real drop from the front. Templars unloading. 3 Templars, 4 Templars. Templars storming all the SCVs, and they're all dead and gone. And 458 calls GG after 16 minutes of pure agony. He got destroyed. A piece of his own cake. And I don't think he liked the taste of it. I don't think he liked the taste of it. Let's very quickly switch over and find replay number 2 between these 2 players. It's gonna be 458 yet again playing something he usually never ever plays. It's gonna be a Zerg against Terran. And we're gonna have Loveme on the Terran and 458 on the Zerg. This is a match that I really want to see. First of all, how good is Loveme on Terran against Zerg? He's played really good matches before on the channel. And I really want to see how is he going to play this one, because this is an interesting matchup. It is my favorite matchup to cast, because this matchup goes into a lot of technological diversity. The Zerg has to go for Lurkers, has to go for Defilers, has to go for Guardians, and then maybe Ultralisks, Zerglings, Hydralisks, whatever you name, whatever you can think of, the Zerg has to build it in a Zerg against Terran. Likewise for the Terran, they have to get tanks, vessels, Goliaths, Radiates, everything a Terran has, they need it for this matchup. That's why I like this matchup the most. It is the most technical. It is the most advanced. And perhaps you could argue the most equal as well. So let's hotkey both locations. 458 here starts off with the hatchery first. Loveme starts off with the barracks first, and the barracks is very far away from the command center. I don't want to say I've got OCD, but this does kind of trigger something inside me. It's kind of looking weird to have the barracks so far away from the command center. Oh wait, I gave the wrong player a win there on the top, so let me just change that to Loveme having 1 win and 458 having a loss. So yeah, 458 today is showing us the skills he's got on Terran and Zerg. And Loveme is the person who's going to be his test professor. Loveme is taking the exam. He's the examinator of 458's StarCraft skills on the races he usually never ever plays. Will he pass the test? Will Loveme let him pass the test? Will we let 458 pass the test? Or are we going to give him failing marks? Are we going to have no mercy for the protoss genius? SCV and a Marine arrive across the map, and the Zerglings kind of overshot. Probe's drones are under attack. Marine there trying to do something, doesn't get a kill, but maybe the SCV gets 1 single kill. It runs away but dies as well. First 2 kills of the game go to 458, who's getting a lair soon, I assume. Not sure what he's up to, but Zerglings are leaving the base, and he's making drones. Not a hatchery, he's making drones. 458 does look a little bit out of his element at the moment. He's got a lot of minerals in the bank. He really does look a little bit out of his element. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So Loveme went for double barracks into a rush, into a refinery, no academy, no medics, into double factory. Actually, 1 factory and a starport. He might be going for vessels very quickly, very quickly. Not sure. There's a couple of options he has, but I think vessel is to be the most likely one. Zerglings are on the middle, ready to keep Loveme away. The fact that Loveme only has double barracks actually allows 458 to use these Marines to keep most of the Marines away. I mean those Zerglings to keep most of the Marines away. And we have a very late, slow lair coming out from 458, 19 drones. Zerglings are standing in the choke pathway to make sure that he sees those Marines leave, which should then give him enough time to prepare a countermeasure to the Marines. You got, what's it called again? Hydraulics then on the way, and a couple more Sunkens there on the way for 458. Getting 2 more gas. I smell lurkers for 458. And it's going to be a fast Wraith into a fast science vessel from Loveme. Double barrack, factory, port, science facility, and then maybe a control tower. We've got double medic on the way as well. Stim is being researched too. He's got a nice ball of Marines there waiting for the command to move out. The raid there scouts the Zerglings, and then the raid is going to find the Overlords and hopefully supply block 458. 458 now getting a couple more Sunkens there to slowly create more space that is under the control and protection of his own Sunkens. He's going to need some Hydralisks to finish to kill the Wraith. Hydralisk finish just in time. Overlord might still go down, and boom, there it goes. And the Wraith might escape. It will, in fact, escape. Now, a fun little detail here for 458 is that he's keeping the creeps, not yet turning them into Sunkens or Spores, because he doesn't have to spend the money yet. He's going to spend the money on turning the creeps into Sunkens or Spores when Loveme moves out of his base. Before then, they're going to stay creeps. And there the Marines go, gonna kill the Zerglings. Zerglings do turn around and run away back home, which means we're now gonna see Sunkens morphing very soon. Unless he wants to buy more time and save more minerals. Not yet. Not yet. I guess he's gonna wait until Loveme arrives somewhere around here before he starts morphing the Sunkens. Hive is on the way, pretty fast to be honest. Even though he started with a late lair, the Hive is morphing pretty early. On triple gas, 32 drones, he's rich. The cross map situation is playing 458 into his hands. It's helping him out. But now a big attack there coming across the map. Lurkers are morphing, but he has a science facility there. Science vessel in the air. And it's coming across. Zerglings are scouting ahead, making sure that he knows what's happening. Sunkens will morph very soon. There's about 6-7 lurkers morphing there in the front. He sees them. A lot of Zerglings are in the mix as well. Lurkers are finished up, gonna burrow up. Now it's time for the siege tanks to push through the lurkers. Lurkers bounce forward, those Zerglings as well. Zerglings shooting, Marines going down on the top and on the bottom of that group. And he retreats. 458 so far, playing this pretty well. Tanks there overshoot though. Tanks overshot way too much, and the tanks 2 go down. 1 stays alive, and that buys 458 some time. He's not sieging his tank. He's using his tank unsieged, because unsieged, the tank outranges the lurkers. Oh, defensive maintenance on the tank. Marine. Oh, this is a good push there from Loveme, but 458 has Hydralisks assisting. Sieges of the tank. Tank gets taken down. Both players are playing this kind of nicely. Which means it's time for me to take a sip of my drink, because I am getting a dry throat. Delicious. Absolutely refreshing. Loveme is dancing back and forth, trying to kill as many lurkers as he can to make sure that the amount of lurkers does not become too big. But about 10 of them just finished up, so the amount of lurkers is definitely way too big. So he moves forward, going to try to catch all those Marines. A lot of those Zerglings go down. Defensive makes it on a Marine. Tank in the front getting taken down by the lurkers. Really beautifully played. 458 now still has no Sunkens, no Spores. He's got a Defiler Mound, Evo Chamber, no Spire, 28 drones, and he's getting 3 Defilers and Consume. It's time for Dark Swarm Lurker in the choke. And a very quick look here back at home. 1 more starboard. 7 barracks. Double engineering base. Gonna go for the Marine tank attack. Marine tank push. Which I don't think is very effective against Dark Swarm and Lurker. But he's making the most of it. Getting the most out of it so far. He's doing a pretty good job. Although now Vessel there shooting for the Defiler. Defiler has no Consume yet. It's gonna go down before the lurkers are Dark Swarmed by it, but he has 2 more Defilers, so that's no problem. He prepared himself well. Creeps got turned into Spores, which goes to show how useful it can be not to immediately turn the Creeps into Sunkens, but to maybe, if you can, just keep them as Creeps and turn them into Spores later on, which will help you defend against vessels trying to radiate. He's hunting for Defilers, going for the drones in the back. Gets a radiate off. Does he have Burrow? Yes, he has Burrow. All the drones hotkeyed. Well defended, well reacted, well responded. But he's low on drones in total. That I cannot deny. He needs a lot more drones. Dark Swarm comes up just in time, and the Defiler gets radiated, gets 1 more Dark Swarm off, burrows the Defiler, and it will die shortly after. Getting Plague now, level 1 Carapace as well, and here in Loveme's base, double armory, getting 2 more in addition. He's getting level 1/1 attack for his tanks, Goliaths, and everything from the factories, and he's still on triple starboard. And as I said before, 7 barracks. It's a lot of barracks, and I think he's finished up level 1-0 actually. So he's a little bit behind on Marine upgrades. Dark Swarm ends. He's gonna try to stim through, but another Dark Swarm comes up just in time, and the Marines there on the side gonna just run right past and trying to deal damage in the back. More lurkers on the scene, burrowing up. Marines forced into the corner, forced to run away. They cannot take this fight, and they get surrounded by the Zerglings, and they do get taken down. They do die in the end. A good attempt, a worthy attempt, but not the attempt that actually got him anything. Not the attempt that actually killed anything significant. So we're getting a Spire now for Scourges and maybe Guardians. 458 is progressing. Still low on drones, but he's defending pretty well. He's defending and keeping 458 away from his base. Oh, Lurkers moving forward. Burrowing up next to the tanks. Everything here in the front is going to go down. Everything there in the front is going to get taken down. And this position for the Lurkers is better than the one before. But now he's got 4 vessels radiating as many Lurkers as he can. There's all these, I think 2 of them or 3 of them are going to go down. Only 2 of them got radiated. Oh, actually, 3 of them stay alive. So I think he accidentally radiated the same Lurker twice. He might just looking for Defilers again. Looking for more Defilers. He's doing a great job killing Defilers with the vessels. But he has so many Defilers up all the time that in the end I don't think it will make much of a difference, but it's good to do. It definitely makes a difference killing those Defilers with the vessels. But as I said before, I don't really like the very strong Marine play. The very heavy Marine play. There's a lot of Marines, and Marines literally do not do a single thing against Lurker Swarm. They are just incapable of doing a single thing. Nothing at all. They do nothing at all against Dark Swarm Lurker. Yeah, he's doing a great job radiating. Great job. Gets the Dark Swarm off just in time. Now in 44 drones, getting 2 more hatcheries as well. And an Ultalisk Cavern. Getting level 2 Carapace there for the Zerglings. He didn't get Evo number 2 and 3 yet, so he cannot get all the ground upgrades. We have a Spire, no greater Spire yet. He's still only mining from 5 gas, but 458 is slowly progressing with a lot of restraint and control, but also a very good understanding of what he has to do. I am a little bit impressed with how he's playing this matchup so far. It's slightly different from what everyone else does, but it's working. It's working. Which also goes to show there is not just one build order that is good. There are many different 1 versus 1 build orders that are good. As long as you make them work. That's what matters. Valkyries on the scene to protect those vessels from the Scourges. More tanks are slowly arriving and getting complete, I wouldn't say complete control. They're at least keeping the pressure up on the Lurkers in the front. 458 will never ever be allowed, not even for one moment, to have his Lurkers in his choke unprotected by the Dark Swarm, because they will get taken down by the tanks surrounding it in the blink of an eye. So 2 more hatcheries on the bottom, 1 more on the top. He's got 5 on the bottom, 3, 11. Oh, yeah, 11. He's got 11 hatcheries at the moment. So he's growing stronger and progressing nicely. And now the Marines are being thrown away to open up supply space, because Loveme is starting to realize that Marines might not do the trick. Vessels keep radiating Lurkers under the Dark Swarm, but we have more Lurkers waiting here in the back, ready to replace them. Level 2 Carapace almost finished up. Marines are on 2-1, soon to be on 2-2. The tanks are on 1-1. 0-2 actually. He's got level 2 already on the attack. The air is on 1-1. So very good upgrades there from both players at this point. The upgrades started a little bit late, but they have been doing a good job getting upgrades, except for 458, who is not getting damage upgrades. He's only getting armor, not getting a single damage upgrade, and I think that might come back to hurt him later on into the game. It might hurt him. How much, I can't tell, but I think it will. 6 starports, 3 starports, 9 starports, 5 factories. Loveme is playing very heavy into the starport play. And they're inside of 458's base. A drop on the bottom corner is Marines and Firebats. They're getting some use out of this after all. Ultralisks are the natural enemy of Marines, and they do arrive on the scene with level 2 Carapace. And they didn't yet finish the Carapace Ultralisk upgrade, so they're not yet on +5 Carapace upgrade. And now on the top side, Lorix in the front got taken down. The base is wide open. Orvade is in trouble. The drop at the bottom corner distracted him enough. He kept killing the Defilers. Now raided on the drones. Loveme is picking up the pace. Loveme is going in full overdrive. Drones all died in the back. Marines on the side there killing drones on the gas. The mass tank army got killed, but we still have more vessels in the base running about looking for Defilers to kill. But 458 survived that attack, but his drone count just went down from about 50 to 25. So he is in pretty bad shape. Can't really put it any other way. He is in bad shape. Really beautiful setup there from Loveme. 458 was not anticipating it and could not properly defend it. The front is broken and he lost his drones. Another drop there coming in. Is it Marie? Oh, that's a good radiate. Dropships are empty though. Dropships are empty. I mean, you have to assume that they're filled up, but they turned out to be empty. So tanks being put on the high ground, some tanks on the low ground. Ultralisk coming in to throw, not yet. Comes in, takes out the tank on the low ground. High ground though is in Loveme's control. Another Defiler radiated. Mutalisks are on the way. You're back at home. 4 command center. All the gas filled up. 9 factory. 9 starport. Equal amounts of ground and air production. Getting mines. Getting Terran booster. Getting vulture speed. Getting level 3 armor for Marine. He's doing a really good job of getting every single upgrade that he might possibly need at some point in the game. And those Marines with Firebats, I was wrong. I thought they were not gonna make the difference, but the drop on the top and the bottom corner, they both did in fact make a difference. The Marines with Firebats are finally useful, because there are no longer any lurkers in the base. 458 has Ultralisks, Guardians, but no lurkers. No lurkers on the scene. Another 4 vessels coming in to radiate those drones. Drones are burrowing up. They do stay alive. Vessels there getting taken out by the Scourges. Now the tanks are in danger. Good Ultralisk hold position there under the Dark Swarm. Marines at the top there killing Overlords. Now going for the backside attack. Guardians in the air killing the tanks on the side. Great Dark Swarm there. Oh no, that Dark Swarm is actually really bad. That Dark Swarm is actually terrible, because now that might give those tanks some cover and protection. Tanks are sieged up, tanks are shooting, tanks are targeting the drones there with the scan. Drones do go down, and that should be the GG. As Loveme takes down 458 after 458 made a lot of Scourges, way too many Scourges by accident. That's a lot of Scourges there in the air. And now the Marines Firebats. Firebats coming in to save the day. Oh well, maybe I should say ruin the day, because 458 is having a bad day. But Loveme pushing for victory with the Firebats. Firebats killing nothing, really. I talked up the Firebats really a lot, but they didn't do anything. The Valkyries, though, kill the Guardians, and that's GG. 458 calls it and leaves it. And that's 2 wins in a row there for Loveme, whose channel you can find in the description. He played that one really well. He played both games really well. And 458 Master of the Protoss is actually also pretty good on Zerg and Terran, but definitely not on the same level as his Protoss is. But that was very well played from both players. I hope you enjoyed it. I might do another Loveme against 458 set with Loveme on the Terran and 458 on the Protoss. They played 2 best of 3s, and I think in the next video I'll do the second one. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, a comment, or a subscribe, and a subscribe. It helps the YouTube algorithm notice my videos. If you want more people to watch, like, leave a comment or subscribe. It counts as engagement, and engagement is what drives recommendations. And it also drives where you are in the search results. So please, if you could do that for me, it will help us all out. So see you soon, and have a good day.